still, it's quite strong. Also for Aurora with their lineup, this is also the Suyo again, who has kind of fallen off a little bit, but like in the hands of Demon Kite, still able to make it work.
It doesn't seem like Demon Kite considers the adjustment at all. Even yesterday, one of the few, or if not the only
Welcome
one
to Mobile
to
Legends.
bring out the Suyo in the draft. So this is the match point actually for Aurora.
Match point for the Northern Lights again. A chance at upping their chances of a top 2 slot coming into the playoffs up against the Phoenix Army TNC, who has secured and locked their 5th spot coming in to the playoffs. Once again, we're seeing Renegade the Hitman. This time the teleport man could be a major factor with the macros.
Is that what we call? Is that what we call Renegade? With
I don't know what else to call him at this point.
Shortcut man.
The shortcut man, yeah.
Yeah, take the shortcut man.
He got the pull yourself together too, so there will be a lot more flickers than we'd expect happen in this game.
I still always think like Chip is great, and sometimes it works against your teams. Now, just because often he's banned out, you don't see.
It seems like they waited for that perfect timing, but the beautiful blade search as a response from Demon Kite prevents the pickoff onto Renegade.
See, if that was pre-nerfed Suyo, that would have been a triple kill.
Immediately.
Immediately
for sure. But again, we're seeing how Demon Kite has adjusted his gameplay, specifically for this series, wherein he's literally doing a roamer's job where his roamer is low. He's going to enter in, scare off the Phoenix Army, and make sure Renegade is harm's way and was able to escape. So now TNC needs to up the pressure once again, because when it comes to the late game, they're going to have a hard time dealing with the potential split pushes that can come from the Hitman himself. But now major objective will now be respawning. Who's going to get the first turtle?
Yeah, waiting for that level 4 in here. UA does grab it. Also takes his choice of ultimate too. Takes it from the Badang. So the turtle's up. They're going to get in position. Demon Kite working on his buff. Meanwhile, up top, Coil's going to go grab his orange, and they should be able to break out into a fight. It's going to be a 4v4. Unless Renegade hits level 4, I don't think you bring up Demon Kite anyways for this.
Oh, he's about to though, and that's a beautiful usage of the Glorious Pathway. Koi will decide to go in, uses the Yogi Shadow Kill, but a bit too early to contest with the Retribution. But still, he gets it nonetheless, together with the First Blood onto Yue. Those are the Infernal Pursuits coming in from 3 Martizi, but he gets taken down by Demon Kite as well. And now they're still going for it because Demon Kite goes in with the Blade Surge, but it might just not be enough because Koi might be the one to turn things around this time, taking out the rest of the members of Aurora.
The turnaround for the Phoenix Army. Aurora decided to stay a little bit longer, and without Demon Kite, they had no chance with an out-of-nowhere setup from Yaoi. The fist break, fist crack connected onto 3. They also got the turtles, so every single trade that happened, TNC won that.
Not only that, but that's the strength also of having a Valir on your side. You're able to go ahead and, you notice how that team fight broke out where they disengaged, they re-engaged, they even baited Rora to come back into the fight. Demon Kite got caught there, and, that is just a phenomenal early start for TNC. Yaoi got a couple kills off of it, Coil, of course, did, plus the objective. So now the scaling with this lineup that TNC has is going to be very favorable for them. The Hunter Strike was locked in too for Coil off of that, and they can start to look for some of these picks here too. Every time the flicker is available for Yaoi, they should be able to go ahead and try to make a play on one of the side lanes even, and that's why you have them kind of hovering around there. Even with the Revitalize earlier on that Edward had, it wasn't enough to out-sustain the fight of TNC's lineup this early on, so something they're going to have to kind of consider. Aurora might have to take a step back a little bit and kind of slow things down because they don't want this to be another case of, all right, next turtle's up, we have the same thing happen to us, because this is a lineup for TNC that can scale kind of out of hand really quickly.
Yep, and that's a 100% kill participation for Coil in less than 5 minutes into this game. So you could already imagine the advantage he currently has. He's a level ahead of Demon Kite already, which encourages them a lot more to go for this upcoming objective.
Yeah, there is a Sever Retribution combination that can come from Demon Kite, but that's if they can get past the literal walls of fire set up by Lancy or the literal wall from the Badang of Yawi. But here comes 3 Martizi setting things off with the Infernal Pursuit. Trying to target Edward, already cast the Glorious Pathway.
Yeah, and he's forced to use it to revitalize. Coil once again secures the turtle for TNC. Take out Renegade as well. And there's the Ogi Shadow Kill landed onto Demon Kite, but somehow he finds his way out.
Again, there's just not enough firepower from Rora's lineup with what they have. You know, they might not, they probably shouldn't even taken that fight. And Dominkite, he's gonna have to rely on Renegade to get here on time.
Okay.
Should be okay. So yeah, Dominkite's gonna be fine to clear that out. But you just saw the difference in fighting power that TNC showcased there after they got that turtle, and they finally get that turret up, down up top as well. Coil pushed that in. You can see some of these first items being locked in too. Yawi gets a Thunderbelt. You got the Glowing Wand over here for Lancy. Also a Thunderbelt for 3mar. He is a problem as well, and that seems to always be the case with Phoveus during the early game. He can basically just be your frontliner alone. So that gives the freedom to Yawi to go ahead and find those setups with that Fist Break, Fist Crack combo. And look at this, already on the bottom lane.
Oh, they land or decide to use the shortcut, but will this be enough? Because look at that Fist Break, Fist Crack combo coming in from Yawi together with the Yogi Shadow Kill bursting down Edward and Renegade. They have no frontliners left for Aurora.
Yawi goes in with a conceal to cover more ground and try to cut off the exit route of Aurora, but we're seeing what Breda predicted so far. The Glorious Pathway literally is useless.
Yeah.
With the Searing Torrent coming in from Lancy's Valir. And it's honestly hard to execute the Searing Torrent plus Fist Break combination, but Lancy and Yawi has been executing it to perfection 2 consecutive times. And as we look at the instant replay, you're going to see it here. The Glorious Pathway casted down, and Lancy starts things off with the Searing Turret paired up with the Yawi Flicker in.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You know, every single time that TNC wants to go ahead and fight against that, if the shortcut's used or not.
Yeah.
They have such a good advantage, and you know, it makes me wonder. Like with TNC, and I was saying when you asked about the draft earlier on, it's like they need a little more utility. Well, even the Valir seems to be enough utility to help them
than enough.
deal with this. Oh, Renegade.
It's a perfect balance of utility and damage, and now Renegade is feeling the damage that we were just talking about right now. He's not able to land those shortcuts, which could get fully utilized by Aurora. It feels like they're being very hesitant on whether or not they're gonna go in.
Even burned the Flicker for the Hitman, and now TNC in full control. 4.6k gold lead, even Yawi sizing up every single member of Aurora for them to be able to take down the mid lane turret. And as we look at the items, already a BOD pickup here for Coil. Starlium, Sight, and Feather of Heaven for Benny Cutie. So in terms of activation, you can already feel that they're activated.
Yeah, they're at that point. So if you're Aurora, you need quite a bit of time here. You might not even want to go ahead and contest this first Lord because you're going to just kind of lose that team fight. Even if you get a great setup, I just feel like they're lacking that firepower. And this is one of the weak points, I guess you could say, of Irithyll, especially her early game and like the mid game. Her damage just isn't that great until later on. And you need a lot of time to be able to go ahead and maneuver yourself around those fights. The problem is, even if you go ahead and find an angle, like that's again why the Valir is such a nuisance for them right now. You're going to get pushed, you're going to get pulled, whichever way you want to go. And Yue, for the most part, he's been holding on to Yawi's ultimate. You know, he's been taking that, but again, it comes down to even if you get those setups, you don't have enough firepower. Who's going to do the fire? Who's going to do the damage over there? You know, Demon Kite's having a hard enough time joining those fights and those skirmishes. He needs to just go ahead and focus up on farming, and that's exactly what he's doing. So they might try to play some of the macro level here if they also decide to give up this Lord. And that's an Ice Queen Wand now picked up too for Lancy. So those fireballs and those torrents are going to be even more annoying now that you're slowing down too.
Yeah, even Benny Cutie close to a Holy Crystal already. So in terms of fighting back, as you mentioned, it's going to take a lot more minutes for Aurora to be able to counter it out. And I do agree with what you said. They have to focus on the macro, utilize what they have with the Renegade chip instead of going for the contests, which could end badly for the Northern Lights. Just make use of the time of the split push and at the same time try to delay TNC as much as possible.
I feel like Aurora's really trying to do that, but TNC, they're just grouped up together all throughout. Even when they had to work on the wave that was pushed by Aurora up top, none of them wanted
Jay?
to do it alone. And so Renegade might not find the best target. And now that he gets to find one, it's Coil who gets to dodge everything else. And look at that fist break, fist trap landed once more onto the members of Aurora. Now they're falling one by one, and it's only Renegade left alone. But he can only do so much. It's a wipeout for TNC.
A disaster of a Hail Mary play from the Northern Lights. TNC 5 steps ahead. Crucial fist break, fist crack combination from Yaoi. And this could be an endable angle. We might see a game 3.
That is what I was talking about with the chip. It either works for the team or works against you, and that was a clear moment where the chip works against you. And so Lord coming down on the bottom side, they might still be able to defend this.
Oh no, but look at Edward not being able to sustain the damage anymore. And now they're taking away an inhibitor turret from Aurora. They slowly gain access towards the base, and we're just 10 minutes into this game.
Holy Shields popped in the middle, but Aurora was still able to salvage it. But the lead of the Phoenix Army already at almost 9K, and looking at the items, it's pretty good for Benny Q. He already has the Holy Crystal, and compared to Dominkite, just the Hasklos and the Windtalker, it's going to take a lot more minutes again for Aurora to be able to punch back, assuming that Yui could also have a beautiful fist break, fist crack combination up against TNC.
Yeah, again, the Valier is such a good pick against this chip pick. Hold on.
They go to the replay, but looking at the right side, they're trying to go for Jay.
He won't be able to make it out alive. And this is a quick replay of what happened earlier at the purple buff. It was really unfortunate for Aurora. I mean, they were able to find Coil, but Coil had a shadow. He was just able to escape and dodge everything else. And now with Renegade out of the picture, TNC might be actually go for this.
Conceal for TNC, waiting for the perfect angle. We can see Yaoi leading the charge. Will they go for the setup? You already used this fist break, fist crack to clear out the minions, and a beautiful defense from the Northern Lights, but they have to make more because in 40 seconds, Lord will spawn up.
Yeah, I'd rather just see them give the next Lord up too. Unless Renegade tries to go for a Hail Mary play again with the shortcut, then you know that's kind of what Rora's position is right now. They're not going to be able to really contest any of these objectives. They're going to have to kind of just buckle down and farm up. You know, if you look at Dominkite, he's got 3 items right now. He also has that Malefic Gun, so he's got a little more range here, the Haas Claws, but we're just seeing all these team fights kind of break out and then they just get collapsed on. There's not really a moment just yet where they're actually able to go ahead and look like they have a fighting chance. I mean, even for Edward, what a contrast from the previous game he had where he was able to just go ahead and pop off in the Kalea. Here's Renegade again.
Oh no.
Seeing the conceal, he's going to get spotted out. He might put enough pressure here. Demonkite's actually pushing up top still. So TNC might have to respond to this. They're fighting for this Lord. It's sitting at half health, and they send Benny Cutie up.
They might go for this Lord take now. Renegade waiting to cast that ultimate, but Coil gets the Lord!
Coil gets the Lord, and Dominkite with his attempt to damage the members from behind becomes successful in doing so. Lancey is down, but look at the Edward. He will be traded out too. Benny Cutie is the next to fall, and 3 Martisi takes down Renegade, but they're still going for it. Yue won't survive this. Demonkite, the Kite Brothers, take down 3 Martisi!
It's a 2v2 situation, but TNC was able to secure the Lord. Demonkite tried to go for the inhibitor up top, but they had to try and contest for that Lord. A 5K gold lead still for the Phoenix Army, but now they might go for the end angle because the Lord is sieging in onto the bottom lane.
It's actually really impressive that Rora was even able to go ahead and get what they did through that. Again, playing around the macro is probably going to be the best option they have right now for this game. They will clear this Lord out, so they're going to be fine. They're going to stay in the game. They got quite a bit of gold over on their side too, and you're starting to see some of the damage come online for Dominkite. He still needs a lot of time though. They actually still need at least another couple minutes. They might be in a better position for the next Lord. They could actually play around the same thing, you know, try to push the long lane, try to push that bottom side if they can. And so TNC, they have to make sure that they don't fumble that because they've got quite a bit of a lead. They have a ton of itemization advantage too against Rora. And when you really think about it, I mean, even Coil hasn't died yet. He's 9-0-8 or something like that. 9-0-8. He's online, but still, they have to keep an eye on Demonkite. Demonkite's the one making these moves across the map.
Yeah, and Dominkite too, he was already able to find the right position earlier to land his heavy crossbows. There's the glorious pathway. Oh, Coil goes in, looks for the backline, but just gets bursted down. Renegade, in an attempt to go for the sandwich play, gets taken down as well. The shortcut's already out of the picture, and Edward's left alone in the middle of 4 members of TNC. And that's a 2-for-1 trade so far.
A quick response from the Phoenix Army. They went for the fist break, fist crack combination after Renegade was able to cast that ultimate. That's why Aurora wasn't able to clap back. They do, however, get Coil. But now TNC, they have 4 members pushing in onto the middle lane. They're gonna respect the capabilities of Aurora as Demon Kite tries to go for a split push.
Okay.
Big shutdown, though. That was big shutdown gold on Coil. But, you know, still, Aurora gets punished. And that's the thing. Every single time those shortcuts are used, they could either work for you or against you. It's going to be crucial leading into the next objective. But I would think that Rora actually wants to somehow contest this. Now, when I say contest the Lord, that might be, again, doing the same thing, just pushing one of these lanes on the bottom side, trying to put some pressure there for TNC to possibly make a mistake. That's going to be their best bet as Rory gets ready for this next fight. Domin Kite's also in a good position as long as he's got the battle spell up. If he's got that, you know, the sprint up to be able to maneuver around, that has saved him a couple times already. So this positioning for Domin Kite's going to be crucial. Okay. I thought he was okay. Oh, hold on. Renegade's still there.
Oh, it's a good seal! But the shortcut doesn't get landed. There's no way out for Kyle, and he might just be taken out by Aurora. A successful pickoff, but TNC, they're going to go for the counter engage. Lancey trying to chase after Edward.
Sacrifice.
The rest of the members will be able to recall, but Edward is left alone as a sacrifice.
Enough time bought for Edward because Renegade was able to split push up top as well. They have fat minions up top and they can get the Lord Coil 20 seconds before they respawn. What's TNC's response here?
Oh, they're going to have to fight it. They're going to have to hold this together. They can't let Rora just take this. Domin Kite does go ahead and just push a bot, so it looks like they'll take what they can in terms of these turrets and just wait to go for another fight from TNC. That was a great play from Rora. But still, they have a lot of ground to cover to be able to win this game in a sweep, win the series in a sweep.
Yeah.
Seeing the items here too, you're getting to a point where it's getting pretty deadly. A Divine Glaive now too for Yue, still working here on the next item. You've got a little bit of tankiness now for Renegade, and Edward is going to be crucial tier 2. Now that he can withstand some of the burst, you know, he's got some of that survivability now to deal with TNC. Sometimes it might just be him surviving those extra seconds and not getting bursted down right away. So this is now a tough Lord for TNC to take. They are going to start it up and go quite quick, though.
Are they bursting it down?
The blitz?
Renegade looking for a target from behind, but Coil still secures the retribution. Demon Kite's down bottom, making work of the game as well. But the clash still proceeds here up top. Will this actually be an end angle for Aurora? Edward, though, is not going to take, or will be successful in zoning out the members of TNC. And that's enough to split the attention of the Phoenix Army.
That was a 4-on-5, but Aurora was still able to take down through Martizi and get an inhibitor down bottom. Now they're going to make quick work of the Lord TNC. The pressure is on. They want to use this. They want to try and go for the push. They're waiting for a setup from Yaoi, but again, they have to respect that they don't have the numbers. And we can see the lead of TNC diminishing. It came to a point of 9K gold lead. Now it's down to 500.
Rora, I'm going back to what I said nearly 8 minutes ago. They just have to play the macro, and that's what they've been doing now. And look what it's got them. The gold lead that was TNC is completely gone. Yeah, they have more kills and everything else, but at this point, that doesn't matter. They are losing to the macro game, and Rora has been slowly choosing these moments around the map, actually playing around the chip. And TNC, they can't let that to continue to happen here. Yeah. They do hold on to more base turrets, yes, then Rora, but when that Lord comes up again, how are they going to adjust themselves? Because they haven't really had an answer for that yet. Yeah. They haven't been able to answer that side lane pressure, and that's one hit away up on top. You can expect Rora to go for that too. And you're seeing the team fights break out too, because they were able to catch up in items, and that's now Blade of Destruction picked up here for Domin Kite. He's locked in, and he's ready to go ahead and win these fights. And that's why in the last one, even though it was a 5v4 for the most part, Rora survived. Rora was able to pump out enough damage and survive that fight against TNC. So what this means is basically it's an even ground when it comes to the team fight for this next objective, unless TNC gets creative themselves. And that might be the option that they have to rely on for winning this game.
Yeah, they have to think outside of the box. Just trying to wait for Renegade to make a move and eventually gank him, force out the shortcut play, but we can see Demon Kite again controlling the macro, creating a split push after split push, and that's the thing. TNC, you would expect Coil to also do the split push, but with the presence of a chip, it's literally dangerous for Coil to try and attempt that.
They need to help him.
Yeah,
if they want to do it.
They need a 5-man split push.
Which was something they were doing earlier, but the few moments they decided not to, Aurora clearly took advantage of that. So now whenever they want to kind of manage the waves, the pressure that Aurora's doing on the other sides of the map, they have to at least have someone on standby.
Yeah.
They have to at least ensure that they can be ready to go for the counter engage up against Aurora. But this is an evolved Lord we're talking about right now.
Ooh. If we're going to look at the stats again, one team has lost after getting an 18-minute Lord, and that was TNC in day number 1. They don't want to replicate that again. Edward goes in.
They're going to burst this down, and for some reason, Dom and Kite secures the Lord! And now TNC are just forced to fight back with Demon Kite somewhere else.
Ready?
They're still going to take their advantage in this. They take out 3 members of Aurora, and Demon Kite will go home!
Oh my goodness, I don't know if that's going to be enough. They do hold on to that turret, so still the top one doesn't fall, but they got the Lord some way, somehow. Domin Kite gets this one.
Oh my gosh, Domin Kite.
It's going to be a base race. It's going to be a push. But Domin Kite decides to go home and try to defend. There are minions for TNC in the middle lane.
It's the Kite brothers left to defend, but they immediately get denied by TNC as they successfully bring us to a game number 3.